When I think about this Passport Brothers movement, I can't help but to see it as a form of a slave trade movement. At the end of the day, it's these brothers seeking out foreign women who they would like to be their beautiful sex slaves in exchange for breadcrumbs. I mean, all women basically need three things: security, stability, and communication in a man. These foreign women, these men feel like they can find less financial responsibility. So that knocks out the security. By them speaking a foreign language, there's less communication, so these men don't have to hear her mouth. Then with the distance in between them, these brothers have the ability to be unstable and cheat and not be held accountable as much. So they want a submissive woman, but really they just want an obedient as a slave woman for financial dependency, which really is just breadcrumbs. It's disgusting.
That's some bullshit.
Just when you think society has gotten so beyond reproach that there's absolutely nowhere for it to go but down, they think of something else. They think of a brand new way where they can make things just a little bit worse. Fox News, and maybe you've heard about this from somewhere else, Fox News decided to cover this story. Married couples are living apart together. It's called LAT. But is it the win-win strategy the media says it is? Now, first of all, we already know that the mainstream media is full of shit. By now, if you're still watching CNN, MSNBC, or Fox News, by now you should understand that short of them reporting the actual facts, that they're absolutely useless. Now, we have to get information from somewhere, and unfortunately, the media is heavily controlled by these people. Whenever somebody tries to speak up or speak back or change the narrative, they do their best to censor, cancel, and destroy those people. I try not to deviate. Just Pearly Things. Within the last 24 hours, she's gained like 20,000 subscribers. She is last time I checked, she was at 916,000 subscribers. Regardless how you feel about her, especially if you're a YouTuber and you are not growing, your channel may be stuck below 5,000 subscribers. Your channel's probably stuck below 10,000 subscribers. Definitely less than 50,000 subscribers. Regardless how you feel about her, she provides a very good show. She provides very good entertainment. She provides very good utility for the most part, regardless how you feel about her. I just need you to understand something. You may not like the fact that I continue to bring up that she's the queen of the manosphere. The Cynthia G's, the Kendra G's, everybody's got a fucking G next to their name. I don't know what that's about. Melly, with Melly. And Melly has a pretty good channel with Melly Motors. I actually like watching that. The thing about it is you add all of these people up and it still doesn't even compare to the numbers that this girl's getting. Just Pearly Things is the queen, regardless how you feel about it. And I just want to remind you of that. And I just want to say that because there's nothing you can do about it except whine and cry and talk about her. And you can make streams about her. You can tag her name, hoping she sees it, hoping that she's going to reply back. She's not. She's above you. She doesn't have to reply back. It's just like the Queen of England. The Queen of England, you're not even supposed to touch her. You're not supposed to touch her. She's supposed to touch you. It's like you can insult her, you can make fun of her, you can call her ugly, this, that, and other. Just Pearly Things, regardless how you feel about it. Donovan Sharp said it last night. I was watching his channel. She's an 8, regardless how you feel about it. As far as I'm concerned, there are no 10s. She's an 8. She's definitely not a 9, but she's definitely an 8. She's an 8 or better. And y'all can't handle it because you see that these people are coming into the space. They're using regurgitated Kevin Samuels talking points and they're putting their own spin on it and they're taking off to the sky. So she did her Andrew Tate interview. I have no idea why Andrew Tate got canceled, but usually when they cancel somebody, they always have like a political bent. Like with Kanye West, they used anti-Semitism to cancel him. I'm not sure what it was that Andrew Tate did to get himself canceled, but they canceled him, and now he's going on other people's platforms. Problem is, they're getting demonetized when he comes on their platform. So as far as I'm concerned, he's more of a threat than he is a help. But some people are just willing to take these subscribers and deal without the money. They don't mind getting demonetized as long as they're getting the views and they're getting the subscribers, which they are. But when you talk back against things like this bullshit that they come up with, it's like every year they come up with something new. So LAT, living apart together, this is the new bullshit. I'm pretty sure a couple of manosphere people will eventually latch onto this. They'll use it as more reasons why you should never get married. Bottom line is this. It says nearly 4 million married Americans live away from their spouses, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. That's insane. Now, 4 million is not really a huge number, considering the fact there's 330 million Americans, and you think that perhaps half of the 330 million are adults of voting age and of adult age. So if you say at least half, 4 million out of the number of married couples there are, which there's probably more than 50 million married couples. I'd have to really, really search for those numbers. In fact, I can go to Google right now. Let's see, how many because I don't want to talk out of my ass. How many married couples are there in the United States? Okay, great. I'm going to give you a real number. Okay. Oh, in fact, I was right. By 2022, there were 61.44 million married couples. In 2021, it was 61.45. So the number actually went down. In 2020, there was 62.34. In 2019, there was 61.96. So this way, you can't ever accuse me of just pulling numbers out my ass, because I really don't like doing that, especially when I have Google right here. I could just fucking pull the shit up. And by the way, just in case you want to know what the source is www.statista.com, statistics, number of married couples in the U.S. between 1960 and 2022. Therefore, you can't accuse me of making numbers up. I just told you what they were. I said at least 50 million. Turns out it was actually 61.44 million. I win again. So anyway, a growing number of Americans are embracing a marriage trend called living apart together. Yeah, these people are called cucks. You'd have to be a cuck to stay married to somebody and not be with them. That's just stupid. Where spouses live in separate households but stay in a relationship with each other. Couples choose this arrangement for a variety of reasons, but the New York Times claimed the trend was primarily driven by women seeking independence and personal space to have time for their own interests and self-fulfillment. The pandemic may have played a role in the increase because gender disparities in marriage became more pronounced, especially for mothers, the paper argued. Nearly 4 million married Americans live alone, according to data from the Census Bureau. That number does not include couples. I think somebody fucked up and missed a comma. That number does not include couples, does include married individuals who are forced to live apart due to being in the military. Now, that's one thing. If you're in the military and you are separated because somebody's on deployment, that's, as far as I'm concerned, that has nothing really to do with this. Like living apart together, you're married, you're military, but what most military marriages will tell you is that it doesn't work. Chances are the guy's overseas, probably knocking on some foreign chick, and chances are your woman's here at home getting her back blown out by Dexter next door. So most married military couples, they'll tell you that military marriages don't work. Most of it is convenience. Most of it is for access to benefits. Most of it's for access to the housing, because military housing may in some cases demand that people be married. I've listened to military folks speak, so they can say it better than I can, but for the most part, we already know what it is. Usually, your chick is back here getting her back blown out by the next door neighbor who came over and offered to help her carry the groceries. Next thing you know, he's blowing her back out. Meanwhile, the hubby is over there in Deknanistan, and he's giving pesos to one of those Deknanistan women, and he's getting his helmet shined, and he's getting properly massaged. So we know that shit don't work out. We know what it is. Okay, I am a mother. I am a wife. I am a farmer. I don't know where I fit. Connie Ordway, who's been married to her husband Jeff for 18 years, recalled before she got her own place. The paper said Ordway hailed the arrangement as helping her remember who I am by myself, remember what I like doing by myself, and that was a lovely gift. Other media outlets suggest LAT could be a healthy way for some married couples to live. I don't think that's healthy at all. My question is ultimately, what's the point of being married and what is the man getting out of it? Because we all know that women get most out of marriage. They get protection, they get stability, they get income stability, they get intergenerational wealth building. The question is, what is the man getting? A lot of times, most of these married guys, they're not even getting a warm meal when they come home. A lot of these guys, basically, the sad thing is men are really, really simple. Only thing they're looking for, Chris Rock said it best, the only thing they're looking for is food, sex, and silence. They're looking for a warm meal when they come home. They're looking definitely for some sex. And then they're looking for peace and quiet after the sex. That's it. Men are really that simple. A lot of them aren't getting that. A lot of them are coming home to fucking microwavable meals. A lot of them are coming home to the same boring ass beefaroni or easy spaghetti meal or whatever it is. They coming home to bullshit. Like the women, I'll tell you, you know, it's so sad. I was just having this conversation with a chick, in fact. You don't even have to really be able to cook anymore. If you shop at Trader Joe's or you shop at Costco or BJ's, it's like you can get these ready-made meals. All your ass has to do is heat the shit up and not burn it up. And that's it. It's like you don't have to, you could trick a man into thinking that you know how to cook just by shopping really, really practically. You know, you go to Trader Joe's. I just had not a couple of days ago, I just had I'd come home late. I'd had some stuff from Trader Joe's, and it's like all you got to do is just heat this shit up. It's like it's not even that hard. And the only reason why I had that was because my chick didn't feel like cooking. And besides, it was late and I came home from my office meeting and it was like 9 p.m. because I was in traffic for a little while. So my thing is, you don't even have to cook that much. Now, one thing I enjoy about having a foreign woman is that she believes in shopping fresh. Like when she goes and she makes food, she gets fresh vegetables, fresh fruits. She chops that stuff up. And I'm not that good with the knife. And she chops that stuff up by hand. And she makes some damn good chopped food. Like she make the spices and this, that, and she chop everything by hand. And she throws that stuff together. And it tastes fabulous. And she makes the chicken. And she makes the chicken taste better than I usually make it. Like when I make chicken, I usually just fry it. I don't have time for all that chopping and shit. I don't know how to do that. She knows how to do that. That's a benefit to a man. You're having a wife cooking fresh food. One of the problems with a lot of men is they don't take care of themselves because they can't. Men are practical and they're lazy in many cases, especially when it comes to taking care of themselves. So having one of these foreign wives means that you're going to have fresh food, even if she's making that white rice and she's making the shrimp, or she's making the chicken, or whatever she's making, it's usually fresh because they shop at the butcher. I don't like having to go to the butcher to shop. I don't like doing that. But that's the thing. So my benefit is that, yes, I have fresh food. If I want her to make my lunch, she makes fresh lunch. But my question is, how the fuck are you benefiting as a man if she's living apart together? What kind of nonsense is that? You're a cuck. And chances are she's probably inviting Dexter into the house because you're not there. Nobody's there to see what she's doing. And she's getting her back blown out while you're living apart together. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. It's just dumb. You're a cuck. So anyway, Brides Magazine praised the idea. Of course they did, because that's some liberal feminist ass bullshit. As more romantic than living together. Like, who comes up with this stuff? How stupid do you have to be to see through this nonsense? And the secret to a long and happy and unhealthy marriage for some couple. It's like, well, how dumb do you have to be to believe that this... So here's the guy. The guy's married to a chick that he doesn't see because she's living apart together. Now, he's waking up at 4 a.m. with a Woody. What's the benefit to him of living apart together? It's like, guys, the bottom line is, no matter where this goes, get your passports, get yourself a foreign traditional woman. Stop messing with these worthless strags who are tricking your ass into getting into these relationships, using you for your resources and sucking you dry like Parasites. You know that lamprey eel? They have a lamprey eel, and what it does is it attaches itself to the sides of a fish, and it parasitizes the fish. It sucks them dry. Don't let yourself end up like that, please. Please don't let yourself end up like that. And for any of y'all who have a problem with my passport bros pushing passport bros, then that's your problem. You can get lost. You can go bet on one of these sloppy seconds. You can be a stepdad. You can be a cleanup bro to one of these sloppy seconds. So like, don't even start with me. Just don't. Let's see. Where are we? The acceptance of non-traditional and same-sex relationships also makes this unusual model more socially acceptable, only to idiots, according to the New York Times. The thing jumped. Hold on. Wait, where was it? For Evyan Whitney, 35, and Jonathan Meade, 37, a queer couple. Let's read this again. For Evyan Whitney, 35, Evyan Whitney. Where do you get a name like that? Anyway, Jonathan Meade, 37, a queer couple living apart helped challenge heteronormative scripts, their report stated. Do you see what I'm talking about? Are y'all really going to allow yourselves as men to get suckered by this bullshit? Really? Really? Are y'all going to allow yourself as men to be parasitized? Is that what you want to be? Do you want to be a fish that's got the lamprey living off of you and sucking your blood out while you're swimming around trying to eat, and the lamprey eel sucking your blood out and you're being parasitized? It's like, how stupid are you? And you want to come at me over passport bros? Really? Please. It made caring for myself and really putting my own pleasure and my needs first so much easier. MX Whitney told the paper. Yeah, Another couple told ABC's Good Morning America that doing everything together while married made them crave independence. What? For 8 months, Sana and Adnan Akhand lived apart after Sana admitted she missed the autonomy of single life. Well, Adnan, you know what you should have told her? You'd be like, listen, if you like being alone so much, then maybe you need to get a divorce. Because I don't like being alone. I like waking up at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning to some slaw. That's what I want. I want to get slawed at 4 o'clock in the morning. I wake up at the peep of dusk and I feel like some slaw. But if you're not here, Santa, then you can't give me no slaw. So what good are you? If I come in from work, I expect to have food, warm, fresh food on the table. But if you're living apart together, Santa, then how are you supposed to give me a nice warm meal? What's the point of me being with you if I get no warm meal, I get no slaw in the morning, and then on top of that, I come home and the kids are filthy and the house is a mess? Well, what's the point? I could do bad all by myself. That's what the Tyler Perry show said, the Tyler Perry movie. Said, I could do bad all by myself. I don't need you, Santa. Hey, Santa, I think it's time for a divorce. That's what Adnan would have said if Adnan wasn't a cuck. He's being cuckolded. Santa is in an apartment across town getting her back blown out by Dexter Jackson. Dexter Jackson is about, 6'5" tall. He's got dreadlocks. And Dexter asked her, do you need help getting your groceries in your house, Mom? I like to volunteer myself to get your groceries into the house. Yeah, man, let me just come on into the house. And meanwhile, Dexter's swinging his little member. He's just swinging it. He's spinning it around in circles, just swinging it. And as soon as he gets in that house, Santa's getting her back blown out. Meanwhile, Adnan's over there. He's got a bottle of lotion. And Adnan is... He's getting that lotion bottle, and he's squeezing that lotion in his hand. And he's about to shine the old helmet. Meanwhile, his Santa's over there getting her back blown out by Dexter. Does this make sense to anybody? Does this make sense? Let me tell you something. If you're in one of these cuckolded relationships right now and you hear the sound of my voice and you want to get a divorce based on that, I believe me, I have nothing but respect for you. But you really need to do that, because if you're stupid enough to allow yourself to be used in this manner, it's like, don't let me find out about it, because I'm going to criticize you real bad. Yeah. Okay, for 8 months, Santa and Adnan lived apart after Santa admitted she missed the autonomy of single life. Two of the couples in these reports ended up moving back in together for various reasons. Of course they did, because she ran out of money. That's what usually happens. They get this divorce thinking that they're going to get their pay, they're going to get their autonomy back, and then they get to do whatever they want. Next thing you know, the bills start coming. The bills start coming. Let me tell you a little story. Whether you believe it or not, doesn't really matter to me. Oil delivery. I had to get an oil delivery. Oil delivery came earlier this month. I think it was like December 3rd, December 5th. So the way I have my oil delivery set up is they charge my credit card at the end of the month, right? So they're about to charge my credit card, I think today, if I'm not mistaken. 12/28, Wednesday, 12/28, right? So they're going to charge my credit card. They're going to charge my credit card for the full tank of oil and for the contract, because I have a contract on all of my properties. I have rental properties, and they charge me one time for the contract, and that's like $250. I think it's either 1 year or 2 years. I forget. But the bottom line is the contract ensures that, I guess, for one, that I don't go to anybody else for my oil delivery. And I think it also means that they have to make sure my oil gets delivered. So it works in both. This is a contract. That's what marriage is. It's supposed to work for both parties. That means that when I call them up and I say, hey, listen, I'm low on oil, I need you to come now, they come right now. That's what happened last time. I called them, I think it was December 2nd. I said, yeah, I'm getting low on oil. They were like, oh, don't worry, we'll have the oil there like real quick. By December 3rd, it was there. And they're not far away. But bottom line is, that oil bill, $1,200. I believe that a tank of oil, I think it gets me, because I don't really use a lot of heat. I keep my heat somewhere around like 64, 65 degrees. That's a big ass bill. Now, fortunately for me, I'm okay. I can afford it. I can pay it. But a lot of these women out there add up the cost of electricity, add up the cost of your home heating oil. If you don't have home heating oil, add up the cost of that gas delivery, because you got natural gas coming in a pipe. Add up the cost of the sewer bill, the water bill. Most of these women, and I've read to you the reports, just like in this report that I'm reading right here, I've read to you the reports. These women are getting themselves evicted, and they're getting themselves in foreclosure. The only thing I would say that's saving a lot of them right now is the fact that Biden's student loan forgiveness plan has been put on pause, and they won't have to start paying back the higher interest until I believe it's summer. But here's the problem. The Supreme Court already showed Biden they're not fucking playing with him. They canceled this thing about immigrants where he was forced to send them back or something. They canceled that. And then on top of that, they paused his student loan thing. I think they're going to meet on it or hear it. They're going to hear it. The Supreme Court's going to hear it February 28th. And then they said it's paused until summer. So keep in mind, a lot of these people are running credit card debt, can't afford to live the way they living. And the moment that these student loans get unpaused, they're not getting forgiven wholesale. It's not happening. Not to mention that there's a lot of people who owe loans privately, not publicly. So the Biden administration can't even do anything about those private loans. That was one of the things I realized when I paid back my student loans. I had, and I've showed you the letters, so it's like, whatever. I don't mind talking about this because at this point it doesn't matter. I had Sally Mae. Sally Mae became Navient. And I also had a federal direct student loan from OSLA. And when I consolidated the loans, they gave me like a 6.825% interest rate. And I was like, wait a minute, it's going to take me like fucking years to pay this shit back. So what I did was I converted all of my money towards my loans, and I paid my loans off 10 years early. A lot of these people are so deep in debt, especially women, especially from what we're seeing in these stories, and we're seeing these reports, these statistics. They're so deep in debt, especially the single moms, that they're willing to cling on to anybody who's stupid enough to sign on the dotted line for a marriage contract with them so that they can parasitize you. And that's just the reality of it. And we're seeing it. We're seeing, and as this economy continues to enter into stagflation, not recession, we're already in recession. We've been in it. As we continue to fall deeper into stagflation, come 2023, prices are going to go up on certain things, especially energy. Prices are going up. You got rid of your Russian cheap oil, so you can expect oil prices may be exactly what they were earlier this year during March, April, May, and June. Prices hit $5-6. You have no way of guaranteeing that doesn't happen again, especially if something happens in the economy, which we don't know about. There could be a hurricane, knock out power supplies. There could be anything go wrong. You don't know. So the bottom line is this. A lot of these women, they can't afford to live alone. But they'll parasitize your ass if you're stupid enough to sign on the bill. Oh, yeah, I think living apart together would be a great idea for us. It would be so romantic, for us to live apart together. I mean, you'll be over there in one place living with your parents or whatever, and I'll be over here. Meanwhile, Dexter Jackson's at your woman's house. Oh, Dexter! You get my point? Don't let yourself fall into this shit. I mean, how stupid are these people? Where did they come up with this stuff? I'm completely ignoring. No, in fact, no, I'm not. I was going to completely ignore the military marriages, but we already know what that is. You're over there fighting it out in, where are you? You're in Ukraine fighting it out against Vladimir Putin. And meanwhile, your wife is back home with Dexter Jackson. So, I'm not counting out the military marriages because we already know what that is. We already know what that is. Yeah, your husband is over there. Fire it all! Fox 2, Fox 2, Fox 3, fire it all, fire it all! Boom, boom, boom. Meanwhile, your wife's at home with Dexter Jackson. Uh-huh. Yeah, there sure is some fire in that hole, isn't there? I could read the rest of this, but I tell you, this is some fucking bullshit. I don't even want to. I'll give you the link. You can read it yourself. I mean, men, where have we come? Are we that stupid that we don't like? I think about Judge Judy, how she looks you in the eye and you're just a defendant. There's nothing you can do. Are you that stupid? Really? That you allow yourself to be parasitized? Really? I mean, come on, guys. Come on. Y'all got to wake the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Y'all got to wake up, guys. Living apart together. Who comes up with this stuff? Who comes up with this? Guys, please wake up. Please wake up. Get your passports. Ignore all of these worthless strags and I want you to notice they all saying the exact same thing. They're saying the exact same thing. They accuse you of being a trafficker, a predator, a slave master. Listen, let me understand something, guys. Don't let these women shame, blame, and explain to you. Please don't let them do that. Don't let them shame you or guilt you. Understand something. First of all, when you go overseas, especially if you're going over there and you're looking for marriage, right? Understand something. Those women want to get married. In fact, many of them, their own men can't afford to marry them, and they're desperately looking for men to marry them, to come over there to marry them. They're looking for that. Furthermore, you can't marry anybody illegal, and that's something that these stupid strags either don't understand or they totally ignore. You can't marry anybody illegally simply because the marriage laws don't allow you to marry somebody illegally. You have to have a marriage license and certificate, and it has to be done to somebody who's a consenting adult. There's no such thing as trafficking across fucking continents. No, there are, now granted, there are some of these scams where somebody will come up to you and be like, hey, I'll pay you $50,000 to marry this Ukrainian woman so you can get her over here, right? And it's a fake marriage and this, that, and other. Yeah, I understand that those do exist. That does exist. But when you're a regular dude and you're going overseas and you're meeting somebody and you're dating that person, because I need you to understand, I've read the rules about the K-1 visa process and even the spousal adjustment process. In order for you to even consider getting a visa or a marriage license, you have to actually prove that you and this woman know each other. You have to prove that you've been intimate. You have to prove that you've met the family and all this. You have to show photos. You have to. Sometimes they even ask for text messages. So this whole thing that these stupid strags, and as part of the reason why I did like watching Facebook lose a lot of money to TikTok, but now I think, yeah, if they want to cancel TikTok, that's fine by me. So all these dumb strags who've got these channels on TikTok, they'll be instantaneously evaporated if TikTok gets banned off of U.S. devices. And don't think it can't happen, because it can happen. All they have to do is make up some bullshit and prove that China is using TikTok to spy on America. They can ban this shit right out of the App Store, and they can shut down the servers. Pretty much the exact thing that China does to us when it comes to Google and Facebook. They shut down the servers and they block this shit from being on your phones. Don't think it can't happen. But all I'm saying is, if you want to get married, if you want a traditional marriage, you want to do intergenerational wealth building, and you want a woman there to give you those three necessary things for a man's development and a man's happiness, your happiness is only a passport away. Don't let them shame, blame, and explain to you. Don't let them do that. And please, more than anything, no matter what you choose to do, don't let them parasitize you. I hate seeing those pictures of the fish swimming around and he's got the lamprey eel dug into his skin, sucking out his blood and his juices. I hate seeing that. It's like I just wish that I could go underwater like Aquaman and peel those goddamn lampreys off. But the problem is, that fish, it's like he ain't got no choice because he doesn't realize what's happening and he's just swimming around and shit. And meanwhile, he's a fucking parasite meal. You know, guys, don't let this happen to you. Please don't let this happen to you. Get your passport and get yourself a finer slice of life.
I will always love you. I will always protect you.
No matter what happened, I will always be there to support you for your success. I will love you for the rest of my life.
To be continued.